Good morning friends and welcome to the pre-market view. US markets were down about 0.4 to almost about 0.5% as we will have more clarity emerging about possible interest rate stance by the Fed on 17th of this month and which is why we are seeing some kind of a caution ahead of that event. Also the fact that on Friday the consumer sentiment data came in much better than expectations also has increase the possibility of an earlier interest rate reversal in US. European markets were mixed, particularly Germany market were down about 0.42%, and the major event to watch out for in the Eurozone is the referendum or independence vote on the Scotland front, which is why we are seeing some kind of a caution because a lot of money has been withdrawn from the UK because of this particular event. And when we look at the Asian markets today morning, Japan is shut but most of the other markets are showing some amount of weakness. So the Hang Seng is down almost about 1.25% and most of the other markets are down about 0.2 to about 0.25%, and SDX Nifty is also suggesting that we are going to open down almost about 50 points. In terms of flows on Friday, friends, the FIs were net buyers in the cash market to the tune of about 183 crore. However, for this month itself, the FIs have pumped in more than 17,000 crore, including 10,000 crore in the debt market. So for this month the flow situation has continued to remain good, but at the index level for the past 2 or 3 sessions we are seeing some kind of a caution which may cause some kind of consolidation or a mild correction in our own markets. On that note, let me invite Sadhana to take us through important F&O clues and ideas that we can have from the F&O desk.
Good morning friends, let's have a view on derivatives. Snapping continuous fall of 3 consecutive days. On Friday, we have seen that Nifty snapped its session with a marginal gain of 0.23%. As we have seen that Nifty started the session on flattish note, but it was continued to trade in a narrow range of approximately 15 to 20 points and oscillating between positive and negative territory. We have seen that banking, FMCG, these sectors were trading with positive bias, and realty and metal stocks were trading with negative bias, due to which Nifty finally snapped its session at 8137.85 levels. In this period, we have seen that short positions were squared out by market players as around 1.57 lakh shares were reduced in open interest, and Nifty futures price increased by approximately 20 rupees. On the other hand, cost of carry also increased by 3% from 10.87% to 11.21%. Also, Nifty futures premium increased from 32 points to 34 odd levels. On the options front, we have seen that PCR remained at same from 3 days. We have seen that PCR is continuously trading at 0.96, but on Friday's trade, put option has added around 22 lakh shares in open interest, whereas call option has added around 19 lakh shares in open interest. India VIX was down by 1.20% from 12.52 to 12.37 levels. In the options activity, we have seen that 8,200 call option has reduced its shares in open interest, and 8,100, 8,300 call option has added its shares in open interest. On the put option side, still 8,000 stands with highest number of shares in open interest, followed by 8,100. There are 3 securities in ban period. One is India Real Estate, second is IRB, third is JP Associates. On Friday's trade, FIs were net sellers of 1,285 crores in future and option segment. Mainly they were net sellers of 496 crore index futures, they were net sellers of 46 crores in index options, they were net sellers of 636 crore in stock futures, and they were net sellers of 104 crore index stock options. Our Friday's EVM stands at 8150, lower range for the market would be 8040. This would be acting as a strong support going forward. If market breaks this level, we may see further downside in the Nifty. And high range would be 8150. This may act as a stiff resistance. From 2 days we have seen that Nifty is unable to surpass this level, so this might act as a stiff resistance going forward. Singapore Nifty is down by 53 points, which is at 8081. All other markets are also trading in negative terrain, so we may see a gap down opening in Nifty futures today. That's it from derivatives. Thank you.
Friends, let me take you through Sharekhan pre-market action report, starting with actionable ideas. First of all, a long corner Lupin, as the company has entered into an exclusive deal to market some of its US firm Celix Pharmaceuticals products in Canada, and which would expand its footprint in that region. So that's a positive for Lupin. One can go long with the stop loss of 1335 and a target of about 1385 to about 1410. Cadila Healthcare has given some kind of a guidance and is looking at doing a sales of about 10,000 crore by FY16, which would mean more than 25% kind of a top line growth, and this company also has planned a capital expenditure of about 450 crore this fiscal, so one can go long on Cadila Healthcare with a stop loss of about 1248 and a target of about 1305 to about 1330. Fortis, some positive news is the company has decided to sell its Singapore subsidiary Redlink Asia Pte and its arm Redlink Singapore to Malaysian major for almost about 655 crore. So one can go long on Fortis with a stop loss of 119 and a target of about 126 to about 130. And JSW Steel is poised to take over 3 special steel re-rolling mills of the bankrupt Italian steelmaker Lucchini, located in the Tuscany province. So one can go long there on JSW Steel with a stop loss of 1325 and a target of about 1370 to about 1400. And Yes Bank, negative development as the company's FI limit has reached its cap. So RBI's approval is required for any further purchases. So that's a negative for Yes Bank. So one can short that one with a stop loss of 642 and a target of about 620 to about 608. And ONGC's foray into coal-bed methane has hit a roadblock as the Brisbane-listed Dart Energy has surrendered its stake in the company's CBM blocks. So one can short ONGC with a stop loss of 436 and a target of about 420 to about 410. Here is a watch list for the people who want to go long or short for the day. Stocks with positive buyers are State Bank, Cipla, Tata Global and Arvind, and the stocks with negative buyers are Tata Steel, L&T and Sun Pharma. And in other news update, the IIP number that were announced on Friday came in as much below market expectations, and the IIP growth slipped to almost about 0.5% in July as against the growth of almost about 3.9% in the previous month. At the same time, the CPI or the Consumer Price Index came in at about 7.8% against about 7.96%. The food inflation continues to remain above 9%, so that's definitely a bit of a negative for the market. And Pfizer Inc. and Ranbaxy Laboratories have Friday won the dismissal of a US antitrust lawsuit against them for conspiring delay of sales in the best-selling cholesterol drug Lipitor. And for other news updates, Mahanadi Coalfield, which is a subsidiary of Coal India, is likely to present a detailed proposal of its Sundargarh power project in Odisha, which they are looking at putting up through a 1600 megawatt power project. And Marico's newly appointed CEO, Mr. Seth Gupta, is undertaking a reorganization of the business to double the turnover in the next 4 years. So some positive news for Marico. And in other news updates, TRF has won an order of 354 crore from BHEL for the NMDC's Nagarnar plant. Bajaj Electrical has won 8 orders worth about 518 crore. And the recent US FDA's inspection or a surprise visit at the Sun Pharma's Halol plant is definitely going to be a bit of a blow for the company, as there are high possibilities of the issuance of Form 483 or a precursor to the import alert because of some records missing, etc. at that plant. So there could be some negative reaction on the Sun Pharma in today's market. That's it from all of us, friends. Have a great trading session and see you tomorrow at the same time.